And then, Frank, how did you see that impact the game, especially in that third quarter? Offense, defense, mindset, mental, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, he's one of the best players in the world, so you have to adjust. And I thought we gave great effort in trying to overcome that loss, but certainly wasn't enough.
Dan?
Allie.
Hey, Frank. Offensively, what were you looking for without AD, and were you able to find it tonight?
Yeah, we're looking to score the ball. And there's a lot of ways that we play. The personnel skill set of the guys we have out there. Obviously, a lot of it is through Bron. We played with the roller with Drum, played for a spark with Trez. We spaced the floor with Mark, and we just didn't get enough offensive output in that second half.
Dave?
Frank, prior to the groin for AD, what did you make of his 19 minutes in the first half?
Yeah, I thought he was laboring a little bit. He was saying that his knee was sore, but there was no way he was not going to play. And I thought he gave a heck of a run at it, trying to compete through pain. And then obviously he came out with the groin injury.
Let's just say he's at that level going into Game 5. Is that a go for you, or is it?
We'll make all those decisions over the next couple of days.
Okay.
Frank, what do you think you guys learned in that stretch in February and March when you did not have AD but did have LeBron? You struggled a little bit in those first games afterward, but then seemed like you figured something out before LeBron had his own injury. How do you think it might look going forward if he's not able to?
Yeah, when I competed against the Miami Heat and either Wade or Bosh was out and there was more touches for Bron, that wasn't always necessarily a good thing for my Pacers teams. So it's just going to be more opportunity for Bron, and obviously we need other guys to step up. Not one other guy, but everybody. It's got to be a group effort. We need contributions from everyone, and we did have a stretch like this where we played without AD that we'll draw on. To take us into Game 5 if AD's not available.
Kyle?
Hey, Frank, touching a little bit more on that, you talked in the series about the formula of leaning on LeBron and AD on the offense and needing the role players to kind of be more defensively focused. Does that shift now? I mean, are you asking for more? Do you ask for the same things? How does that go mentally for your other guys?
Yeah, I mean, if all of our players, if they play within the system, they can execute and they can give offensive output. So, that's what we're going to ask of our guys. And, obviously, you look at, deeper into your bench, to see if there's other guys that are more needed now with AD out, if he's out for Game 5, and you make those decisions accordingly.
Sorry, last question, Rashawn.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, AD very important to what you do. Chris Paul very important to what they do. How do you see the significance of that sort of play out in the third quarter with him not being able to come back out, but then Chris started to get going there for them as well?
I mean, obviously, it hurt us, and Chris competing through his injury, played his best game of the series. So. Obviously that was the difference that third quarter.
And did you say there was going to be was there going to be any type of imaging tomorrow, like an MRI or anything like that for AD?
He's undergoing further medical evaluation.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, the Western Conference. Here's how it's shaping up. Utah 2-1.
His power inside. It just seems like the Lakers couldn't make any shots. I mean, they got shots. They looked kind of flat a little bit, and it just seemed like they didn't kind of match what Phoenix was doing for 4 quarters. So it was just, points in the paint. They got outscored. I think only, you double check, I think it was like maybe, 19 assists or 18 assists. The ball wasn't.
19 assists, James, and lost the paint battle 44 to only 36.
Ball wasn't moving, a lot of categories. And I know we lost AD, but even before that, it just didn't seem like they were matching the energy. And then after AD, they just really were disarrayed, never got formulated into any type of cohesiveness or continuity on offense. It's something they're going to have to look at. Now, I give Phoenix a lot of credit tonight. They played their way. They played their game, and so they deserved it tonight. But the Lakers just didn't have what they normally have.
Rob, midway through that second quarter, it's 37-27 Lakers. What changed?
I think the halftime is what did it. Through that second quarter, they were rolling. When halftime came out, no AD. It was almost like they didn't get organized on the court. Defensively or offensively, they didn't get any points in the paint, like you said. And there was a lot of things that just went on as far as like getting back. And with me, it was like every time a guy turned the ball over, it's almost like they want to do this instead of sprinting back. Use that energy and slapping your hands or looking at the ref to get back on defense. There's no whistles. There's no need to complain. This is the playoffs. You don't have time to complain or worry about a turnover. So that's what Phoenix wants. They're a team that uses that fast break to get their threes. They use that fast break to get Chris Paul to probe the inside. And with Chris Paul being healthy, he was able to knock down his patented mid-range jumper. So a lot of things came into effect in that second half that the Lakers just couldn't, defend off.
Yeah, we'll talk AD in a little bit. I want to talk Chris Paul in a little bit. First, I want to talk this third quarter. You mentioned coming out at halftime, guys. Look at these numbers for the Lakers in the third quarter. Really tough to win no matter where you play. Just 3 of 16 for 19% from the field. I mean, the Suns went 0 for 6 for 3, but the Lakers didn't capitalize. 0 for 7. 6 turnovers, just 15 points. And also, big game to me, no fire. No sense of urgency, no rhythm, and I think the Suns smelled blood in the water. All of a sudden, you feel the wind go out of the sails with that Laker team, and in that arena, there's no AD, no KCP in the second half, and the Suns said, let's take advantage, and they did.
Yeah, definitely the Suns were aware of the situation, and, when you're missing a player, as soon as you find out that AD's not, you're already missing Pope, okay? As soon as you find out that AD's not playing the second half, that is when you have a band of brothers and you get together and you say, there is no damn way that we're going down without a huge fight. Drummond, Mark, let's go, let's get together, let's D up. And I didn't feel that on the court. I felt like you said, it was like, oh, we're without AD. Let's see, and it just didn't look like that team was glued tightly together. They were kind of together, but it wasn't like that tight. Now, they made a run down the stretch in the fourth quarter, but it was a little too late.
I think for me, when you watch this game, I didn't realize till I just really looked closely at the stats. They took 81 shots tonight. 40 were three-pointers. Mm-hmm. So that means every other shot was a three. Mm-hmm. And that's a sign to me you just settling. And if I look at this Phoenix Suns team, they're not a tall team. You're not attacking. And that's what you have to do when a team is small. You have to attack the basket. You're playing into the Phoenix Suns' hands now by shooting outside shots, getting the long rebounds, rebounds going to the elbows, and they're starting to fast break. And that's what the Lakers got to understand. I know it's a different era from when James and I played. It's a three-ball game. But still, half your shots from threes, that's too many.
Yeah, guys, and obviously the big story, AD in the second quarter goes down to the ground. And what we know now, it's hard to talk too much about it before you know what the prognosis is going to be. We haven't heard from him yet. We haven't heard from the Lakers. But it's a groin, and he didn't return. So I think what's going on in everyone's mind, whether you're a player, a fan,